one ready for you. Yeah. Okay, there. I turned the mic back up. Are we good? Are we rolling? We're good? Sweet. All right. Check. Yeah, I think my volume's up a little bit higher than yours. Alex, try it again. Testing. Rolling. Ready to roll. Good.
Just days after a thrilling Perry County Baseball Championship game, we are live back here again at Newport High School for a Tri-Valley League matchup on a Monday night as we are ready for the Newport Buffaloes versus the Juniata Indians. Hello everyone watching on the Perry County Sports Talk YouTube channel. I am Alex Wall alongside Nick Miller, and we have Newport versus Juniata in a Tri-Valley League West Division matchup. The Newport Buffaloes and the Juniata Indians both coming off a tough loss in their last game, both against the Greenwood Wildcats, as this is Juniata's first game in a while. Last time they were in action was this past Wednesday, and that was originally scheduled too for Juniata, so they had a little bit of a break at the start of this week, as Juniata is coming to this one with one win on the season through 5 games. So a little bit of a short season so far for Juniata, a couple of postponed games and long road games, especially for Juniata. Juniata will be back on the road. This is their second of 3 straight away games, and then they'll have one home game after that. And then after that one home game, the Juniata Indians will have a 6-game road trip on their schedule. So a lot of road contests so far for Juniata. Their one win was not that long ago, back on March 30th, a surprising 10-0 win for Juniata against in 6 innings at home against Susquehanna. So yeah, that's their one win. They are 1-4 overall and in the Tri-Valley League. They haven't had any non-conference games just yet. For the Newport Buffaloes, they're coming off a very heartbreaking loss this past Friday in the Perry County Championship game against Greenwood. The Wildcats storming back with 3 runs in the 7th inning to take a 5-3 lead. Newport was able to get one back in the bottom of the 7th, but in the end, the Greenwood Wildcats got a Perry County Championship in baseball for the first time in program history, as they won 5-4 against Newport here this past Friday. And now we are ready to go under the lights here. The second game here today, we had a junior varsity game earlier today between Newport and Juniata. We had a little bit of a rain shower before that. Not that long ago, but according to our friends over at the ABC 27 Weather Center, the rain is going to move out to the west, and we're not seeing anything out towards Pittsburgh, so we should be good weather-wise for the rest of the day. And the key player to keep an eye on for Newport is a junior, Landon Sering. He is tied 3rd in the Tri-Valley League with an exact 500 batting average in Tri-Valley League competition. He is tied 5th in the league with 8 hits, and he is one of the top scorers in the Tri-Valley League, tied 2nd with 9 runs scored so far. He's also the top pitcher for Tri-Valley League in terms of strikeouts with 24 Ks in 18 and a third innings. Has a 6th best ERA of 3.82 and a 1.255 whip. That is 2nd best in the Tri-Valley League. The key player to keep an eye on for Juniata is the senior Dalen Kennedy, who is laying off in the top of the 1st for Juniata. The senior Dalen Kennedy has 8 runs scored so far. That's 5th most in the Tri-Valley League. And we're going to have a good pitching matchup here, ladies and gentlemen, here today. For Newport, we're going to have Logan Bates, and for Juniata is Bryce Harlan. Bryce Harlan, the sophomore for Juniata, he is 3rd ranked in the Tri-Valley League in strikeouts in just 10.2 innings of Tri-Valley League competition. He has 17 strikeouts. Like most of his outs in the Tri-Valley League was a strikeout. Like that's like 17 out of 20 or 21 at bats and 21 outs, so that's pretty impressive. He also has the 8th best ERA in 3.94, and his 7th best is the whip at 1.688 in the Tri-Valley League competition. Juniata also has the junior in Drew Geedy, who has the 6th most RBIs in the Tri-Valley League with 8. Also for Newport, junior Jamison Cummins, who is laying off today for the Buffaloes. He has 13 strikeouts in 5.2 innings pitched. That's 9th best in the league. He is not pitching today unless he comes in later. And freshman Austin Baker, it has been a tough stretch of things for him as of late. He went 0 for 4 in each of his last 2 games. He had a chance to win it against the Greenwood Wildcats in the Perry County Championship, but ground out to the shortstop ultimately ended the game this past Friday. as we have the captains and umpires meeting here today. And our umpires for today's game, our home plate umpire is Charles Kipp, and the bases umpire is Myron Lebo. Absolutely gorgeous guys here today. Nick, you are our broadcast partner today. Got the headset on, and so for Juniata and Newport, one thing that's a very interesting stat here for this series. Last year, this game was supposed to be at Newport, but the rain kept pushing it back and back towards the end of the season until it ultimately got canceled. But the last time that Juniata won here at Newport, you have to go back a little bit, as Juniata's last win at Newport was on April 17th, 2015. The Juniata Newport Buffaloes have a 9-game winning streak at home against the Juniata Indians, and this is the kind of rivalry that the home team seems to be the most dominant, and the last couple of games have been fairly close, except for last year. Last year at Juniata, the one meeting between these two teams, Newport dominated to a 6-inning victory by a score of 11-1. But before that, a lot of close games between these two. And so, Nick, I have to ask you, what do you expect out of this one here today?
Hoping for a good close game.
Yeah, close game is always fun. I mean, especially that was the case on Friday for the Perry County Championship, even though it did not go Newport's way. But once again, congratulations to the Greenwood Wildcats winning their first Perry County Championship in program history this past Friday. As we are set and about to get ready to go, we have our starting lineups here for both teams. First, for the visitors, the Juniata Indians out of Mifflintown. A short trip to get here today in Tri-Valley League competition as the Buffaloes take the field. Here is the starting 9 for Juniata. Laying off will be the shortstop, number 1, Dalen Kennedy. Batting second is the second baseman, number 2, Drew Geedy. At the 3 spot is the left fielder, number 29, Carson Nipple. Cleanup hitter at the 4th spot is the first baseman, number 27, Caleb Ocker. Batting 5th is the center fielder, number 21, Quentin Houts. In the 6th spot is the catcher, number 4, Cam Bargo. Batting 7th is the starting pitcher for Juniata, number 7, Bryce Harlan. Batting 8th is the third baseman, number 13, Chuck Greenholt. And in the 9th spot for Juniata lineup, he is the right fielder, number 6, Hayden Bird. Substitutions for Juniata include Brady Hack, Colin Martin, Fabian Plesh, Garrett Dimes, Jason Condo, Jose Rosario, and Yuri Castro. Defensive alignment for Newport Buffalo is wearing the navy blue here today. Starting pitcher for Newport is wearing number 10, Logan Bates. The catcher behind the plate is Jamison Cummins. And first base is Zach Bates. Second base is patrolled by Chris Omler. The shortstop is Landon Sering. At third base is Jamison Peters. And the outfield, out in left field is Kevin Ruggles. Center fielder is Landon Seaching. And out in right field is John Maretsky. Going to be expecting a very entertaining ball game, as it has been the case for most of the last several games. Juniata looking for their first win at Newport in 11 years. Last time Juniata won here at Newport was back in 2015. So it has been a while. Like Juniata, they have Newport's number when it comes to games at Mifflintown, but not so much here in Newport.
Wasn't it about 2 years ago they were going to the Tri-Valley League Championship?
Juniata? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like Juniata is not a bad team. I mean, especially it helps when they're in District 6 and they're up in 5A. And there's only 3 teams in District 6 5A. You got Altoona, Juniata, and Belfont. And Juniata, they are one of our 3 teams in AAA. They go to District 6 championship game every year. So, yeah. Of course, Belfont has been dominated in District 6 and 5A. You want to talk about District 6 baseball? When I was broadcasting on Saturday, there was a Tri-Valley League matchup between East Juniata and St. Joe's Catholic. That game on Saturday was at the Penn State Baseball Stadium. Yeah, so that'd be nice if we can get something like that going. And now, first pitch here to Dalen Kennedy is a grounder over to second base. Chris Zonder with the quick throw. And that is how the game gets started. One pitch, one out here in the first inning. So up next here is Drew Geedy and Charles Kipp. Our home plate umpire, it looks like he had a little bit of a word there from Dalen Kennedy about something. Charles Kipp is basically Mr. Perry County. He goes to a lot. He umpires a lot of Perry County baseball games, and every single time he is behind home plate, you never see him as a bases umpire. Here comes Drew Geedy. He swings at the first pitch and grounds it to Logan Bates. An easy throw to first, and you cannot expect a better start than this.
Now,
Two pitches and two outs.
Is this going to be a 1-3 inning? 1 to 3 pitches and done?
Oh, I have yet to witness that. I know it happens, but I have yet to see it in my own eyes. And here comes Carson Nipple now, the left fielder. Two pitches, two outs. Juniata trying to be very aggressive here. Ground out to second, ground out to pitcher, and no, it's not going to be a free pitch inning. He was taken 100%, but it's called a strike anyway. Yeah, that's definitely not a strike that you want if you're shooting out a free pitch inning. But now, fourth pitch of the inning is in the dirt for a ball. It's one ball and one strike. If you are just tuning in, thank you for joining us. Two pitches, two outs is what you missed so far. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and that pitch is upstairs for Carson Nipple. It's 2 balls and a strike. Logan Bates is the starting pitcher for Newport here today. I didn't get here in time for the junior varsity game. Nick, what can you tell us about the JV game? How did that game go?
Juniata started off strong. They were up 2-0. I think what was it? Fourth inning. Newport scored 3. I think we only went to top of the 5th inning.
Okay.
It was a really short game.
Oh.
It was just Newport won 3-2.
Oh, I guess that's. I never broadcast JV games. I would like to, but I guess they only go 5 innings. I don't know, but here's a swing and
I think they normally go to at least 6.
Fouled.
Unless maybe because it's both games tonight. I don't know if that's why or not.
I mean, like normally I broadcast my games at West Perry, and like we never have double headers for baseball. We never do because like varsity team would be at one place against one school, and then junior varsity would be over at the other school against the same team. So, like say like West Perry baseball faces Newport at home. JV baseball would be here.
So far this season.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I mean, we play the same day.
Sure. Yeah, we never do that at West Perry.
If West Perry could do that, that means they have lights in the field. We were able to do the Perry County Championship game that night.
Yeah, that would be nice. The 3-2 pitch is missed outside, so it's ball 4 as Carson Nipple reaches on a 2-out walk. That will bring up Caleb Alker. But yeah, I guess it does make it easier to have baseball at doubleheaders when you have lights here. And yeah, like I know Newport's next game is on Wednesday. They are back here at home against Lion Mountain. And the first pitch to Caleb Alker. He jams this one, pops it up, and lands foul. And strike 1. But yeah, the Perry County Championship tournament. I mean, it was a whacker this season. We had
the first game was 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, 3 hours 20 minutes.
2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah. And then the last game went up started until after 6 o'clock, and
15 minutes I think it was. I just looked at the.
Yeah, it was a long first game, especially when 8 innings for Greenwood and West Perry, and one pitch to Alker is in for a call strike. So it's 0-2 now. Runner on first here with 2 outs. Logan Bates, I'm going to get out of this inning. There's the 0-2 and swing and a hard roller and nice grab by the shortstop. The throw will not be nearly in time. Great stop there for Landon Saring, but that will be resulting in an infield single. And the Juniata Indians have got something going now with 2 outs. Runners are first and second with 2 outs.
I thought that was going to get through the gap. He made a good stop on that.
Oh yeah, like he definitely saved potential Carson Nippo over to third base and maybe even to score. But great effort for Lucas Saring. The phone was never close. We weren't expecting that. But now here comes Quentin Houts, the center fielder. And he looks at the first pitch, and that's down low for ball 1.
And one thing, this is kind of nice. I can do more of the camera work so I keep track of everything. And have my daughter doing all the scoreboard and everything else.
I would want to thank Abby for helping us out with the graphics here today. There's the 1-0, late swing and a miss.
Not here.
Sorry, what did you say?
It's because my grandson's not here. I should be busy with him.
It's nice to have help here, for sure. Just lucky if I didn't have anything at West Perry today. And now here's the next pitch. Really early swing and a miss from Houts makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Weather-wise, I mean, yeah, we did have a little bit of a rain shower, just a couple of raindrops here and there. Nothing significant, and just looking at picture-perfect weather right now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. High slider laid off for ball 2. Our temperature for game in town, according to our friends over the ABC 27 Weather Center, we are sitting nicely right now at 80 degrees. That's absolutely gorgeous weather here in the month of April.
Here in the shade, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, the shade definitely helps here where we're set up, as we're starting to see the lights being turned on as we speak.
The infield's pretty much in the shade right now, but I pity right field and center field. They're still in the sun looking towards it.
Still 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Quentin Houts. There's the 2-2 and a check swing here. Did he go? And Charles Kemp says yes, he did. And that ends the inning. Houts can't believe it. The home plate umpire Charles Kemp says strike 3 swinging, and that ends the inning. Nothing doing after a 2-out walk-in and infield single for Juniata. We're heading to the bottom of the first. The Newport Buffaloes come at the bat for the first time today. Back here for the bottom of the first inning for the Newport Buffaloes. For Juniata, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, leaving 2 runners left on base. Interesting call by the home plate umpire Charles Kemp on that check swing that was ruled strike 3. And now here we go for Newport Buffaloes, the starting lineup. Laying off is the catcher, number 9, Jamison Cummins. Batting second is starting pitcher number 10, Logan Bates. In a free spot is the shortstop number 4, Landon Saring. Batting fourth is the first baseman number 25, Zach Bates. Batting fifth is the designated hitter for the Buffaloes, number 6, Austin Baker. In the sixth spot, cleanup hitter is the second baseman number 13, Chris Amler. Batting seventh is the center fielder number 8, Landon Sechik. At 8, Batting eighth is the left fielder, number 1, Kevin Ruckles. And the 9-hole spot for Newport is third baseman, number 5, Jamison Peters. Austin Baker is the designated hitter for Newport. He is hitting for the right fielder, number 12, John Maretsky. Defensive alignment for the Juniata Indians. The starting pitcher for Juniata is Bryce Harlan. Catching behind the plate is Cam Barco. The first baseman is Caleb Walker. Second base is patrolled by Drew Geedy. The shortstop is Dalen Kennedy. Third base is Chuck Greenholt. And in the outfield, in left field is Carson Nipple. In center field is Quentin House. And right field is Hayden Bird. Nothing doing for Juniata in the first inning, even though they were threatening. They had 2 outs on the first 2 pitches of the game, but then a single or walk and then a single. But that controversial strike 3 swinging on a check swing. So here we go with Jamison Cummins, the catcher for Newport, laying us off for the Buffs. And the first pitch to him is just missing for ball 1. Oh, good pitch there for Bryce Harlan, the starting pitcher. Bryce Harlan is third in the Tri-Valley League in strikeouts. He has 17 strikeouts in 10.2 innings. That's incredible right there. Right, like that's 15 outs and, or no, yeah, no, 13 outs and 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 7. No, that's 17 outs. Every single one of them has been a strikeout. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and hit well, and it drops out in left field for a leadoff single. Take a 2-0 hitters count. He hits one out just left field for a leadoff single. Good start here for Newport. And now here comes Logan Bates. You got to wonder how Newport is feeling after Friday's game. Of course, it was a heartbreaking loss against Greenwood in the Prairie County Championship game that also resulted in a win for Greenwood in the Tri-Valley League standings. Newport currently in first place in the West Division, and just a half game behind them are the Greenwood Wildcats. So you got to wonder what are the feelings right now for the Newport Buffaloes.
They led most of the game up until, what, 6th inning?
The 7th. Yeah, Greenwood scored 3 runs in the top of the 7th to take the lead for the first time. Newport was able to get one back, and then they had a tying and winning runs in scoring position as Jamison Cummins takes off for second. The pitch was a ball to Logan Bates, and Jamison Cummins steals second. So it's 1-0 here to Logan Bates, according to Charles Kipp, our home plate umpire here today. Harlan taking his time on this one, looking back to second, and a high fastball laid off for ball 2. Yeah, on Friday against Greenwood, Landon Sering was the starting pitcher for Newport in that game, and he was good. He was having himself a good game, but then he was taken out with 1 out in the 7th inning. He was 2 outs away from getting Newport the win. But then, and now here's a wild pitch that goes straight back. It's 3-0, and on a wild pitch, Jamison Cummins goes over to third with nobody out. Landon Sering is on deck. You gotta ask yourselves, it's like if Newport didn't take Landon Sering on the 7th inning, do you think Newport might have had a chance to get the final 2 outs and win it on Friday?
He was getting played out and stuff, but honestly, I think he probably could have.
Yeah, no doubt it had to be a tough decision. You also got to consider how many pitches that Sering might have had at that point in the 7th inning.
I think Jim did say his pitch count was getting up there pretty high.
Yeah, so maybe that was the reason. You know why overuse him too much. Last pitch was ruled a strike, so it's 3 balls and 1 strike. There's the 3-1, and that ends up hitting Logan Bates. Would have been ball 4 anyway. But now you got runners at the corners here with nobody out. And here comes Landon Sering.
I need to get a camera like this. These mirrors are nice, until I get that Starlink set up and actually receive it.
This is the guy that you want to have at the plate with rounds up the corners here for an early RBI opportunity. Landon Saring is third in the Tri-Valley
Look at Friday.
with an exact 500 batting average.
Friday he had an in-park home run here.
Yes, he did. He had the big hit for Newport. He smashed one, playing the gap out in right field, and a butt swing and throw to the pitcher, cutting off the throw to second. Logan Bates has a free stolen base. That's already 2 stolen bases for the Newport Buffaloes here in this inning. Count is 1-0 to Landon Saring. So it's 1-0. Bryce Harlan looking to get out of this. And here's a pop-up going straight back. Ooh,
there's another window gone.
That just hit.
The windshield is cracked.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh man, somebody, yep, it's broken. Yep, that car is broken, ladies and gentlemen, the front windshield. Yep, that car right there. Oh man, I do not want to be. Oh my goodness. And now here comes the base hit, and that goes out of center field. 1 run scores. Here comes Logan Bates to the plate, and the Newport Buffaloes strike first. A 2-run single for Landon Saring, and the Newport Buffaloes go out in front. It's 2-0.
They literally just parked there in the last 10 minutes too.
Oh man, you gotta be kidding me.
And they pulled in, kind of unusual.
Oh my goodness, I'm looking at the car right now. The good thing for the headset, hey, that's not me. I'm happy with that. Ooh, that's tough. Yep, somebody's going to be calling Safe Light sometime today. Somebody should call Safe Light now, see if they can get over here.
They got 2 vehicles here to fix then. They still never fixed yours from last Monday.
Last Monday, I had a foul ball hit my car at West Perry against Waynesboro, and Safe Light was supposed to come again today, but they didn't show up again today. And now the next pitch is outside.
Another stolen base. That's 4 stolen bases.
But that's the front windshield. Like, it was a high pop-up. Yeah, some of the Juniata JV players. I hope that's somebody from Juniata. It's 1-0 here to Zach Bates. A 2-run single for Landon Saring. He steals second, 2. And strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is a dangerous parking lot here at Newport. Oh man. And here comes the guy whose car it is. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's tough. That's tough. That's baseball for you. 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's down low for a ball. It's 2-1.
Whenever I was in midgets playing down at Billy Cox Field, we had a town cop back then. It was coming through between there and the auto parts store. Next thing you know, foul ball went back and hit the cop car.
I can see the guy whose car this is. I think he's calling somebody. Hopefully he's calling a window repairman. And there's the next pitch. That's outside. And it's actually ruled a strike. But Landon Saring takes off and he steals third.
That's what, 5 steals now in this inning alone.
1, 2, 4. It's 4 right now. 4 stolen base.
2, Landon 2, and was it Bates had 1?
Cummins had he had 1 stolen base, but he advanced on a wild pitch then, so that's not ruled a stolen base. That 2-2 pitch is foul back. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on third here with nobody out. Nobody out except a front windshield. Goes the 2-2 pitch again, and good take there for Zach Bates. Fastball upstairs. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Austin Baker is on deck for Newport. Try to get the big first out. 3-2 is swung on and ground to the shortstop. Dayton Kennedy throws on the first. That is in time, but a third run comes across the score as Landon Searing scores from third. It's an RBI for Zach Bates for the first out, and it's 3-0 Newport. So we start over now. We have a 3-0 lead for the Buffaloes, and here comes Austin Baker. Baker has been struggling as of late as a designated hitter for Newport. It's 0 for 8 in his last 2 games. Here he rips one foul down the first baseline. Bryce Harley, one of the better pitchers in the Tri-Valley League, in trouble, and this is a hopper to the plate. Can't even 1 ball, 1 strike. I think Juniata already has some pitcher warming up, and here's a flare right to the shortstop. Have to make a quick throw here, and throw is not in time. So Austin Baker finds the groove all of a sudden, and it was a hopper, but good effort there for Dayton Kennedy. But Austin Baker with his big speed there, and that is an infield single for the Newport DH. That's the second hit. That's the third hit of this inning for Newport now. And here comes Chris Imler. Chris Imler, the second baseman, takes the first pitch, and there goes Baker, and a throw is offline, and he's safe at second. That's 5 stolen bases now for Newport in this inning. It's counts 1-0 to Chris Imler. Seems like Newport trying to make a derby here, like a full-on sprint. There are 5 stolen bases already for Newport in this inning. Here's the 1-0. And swing, a high fly ball down the right field line, and that is off the hands of one of the fans. It's a foul ball regardless.
There's a good player for banana ball.
Yeah. Yeah, if this was banana ball, that would have been out. Well, almost if we would have caught that. Yeah. Yeah. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike now to Chris Imler. Here's the 1-1. And that's low and away for ball 2. Newport looking for quick work here. A runner on second already with 3 runs scored and only 1 out. There's the 2-1, and ooh, that missed up and in on Chris Imler. And he gets out of the way of that one. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 count to Chris Imler, the second baseman. Landon Seachick is on deck for the Buffs. The 3-1 is swung on, fouled straight back. Counts now full of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Juniata, they are 1-4 overall and in the Tri-Valley League. They haven't had a non-conference game yet. Their one win was a little bit of a surprising outcome for Juniata. A 10-0 win in 6 innings at home back on March 30th against Susquehanna. So since then, the Indians are on a 3-game losing streak. 1 out, 3-2 pitch coming up here for Bryce Harlan. Swing and a miss. That is now Tri-Valley Lake's best 25 strikeouts for Bryce Harlan, and there's a big out number 1, or big out number 2, excuse me. Bring on Landon Cechek. That sacrifice fly, by the way, ground out for an RBI in the first inning for Zach Bates. That's the first out that Bryce Harlan in Tri-Valley League competition this season. That it was the first out that did not result as a strikeout. And there is ball 1 and dirt to the speedy center fielder Landon Cechek, the 7th hitter of the inning for Newport. Yeah. Bryce Harlan actually 3rd in the Tri-Valley. I had a stats mixed up there. 17 strikeouts, making 18 now for Bryce Harlan, the sophomore. And that pitch just misses. Or no, rolled a strike actually. I forgot that Charles Kipp, he has an interesting way of calling a strike. But it's 1 ball, 1 strike now to Landon Cechek. And 1 and upstairs, but ruled a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, and same location, ruled strike free. Newport fans are happy about the last couple of calls, but it's ruled strike free, back-to-back case. That ends the inning. But Newport strikes big in the first, 3 runs on 4 hits. We are heading into the second inning, a 3-0 lead for Newport. This is Newport Baseball versus the Juniata Indians, exclusively on the Pico Sports Talk YouTube channel, presented by the Bank of Landsberg and by Pico Yardscape. Back here for the second inning. Newport Buffaloes 3 runs on 3 hits in the first inning. And now here's Cam Barco looking at first pitch strike for the Juniata catcher, taking his first crack of the bat here in this game. For Juniata, they had 2 quick outs on the first 2 pitches of the game. But a single, or a walk and then a single. And now a check swing, a peel down to first, and Myron Label, our base umpire, says yes, he did go around. So it's no balls and 2 strikes to the Juniata catcher. Logan Bates still pitching for the Buffs. And here's the 0-2. And that's upstairs for a ball. Good waist pitch there for Bates. Well, the Newport Buffaloes, when it comes to home field advantage, they love it when they take on the Juniata Indians at home. Because they have beaten Juniata at home every year since 2015. And next pitch is down low for ball 2. 3 big runs for Newport in the first inning makes our score 3-0 heading into the second. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cam Bargo. And he lines one down third base line for a base hit. And Bargo thought about going all the way to second. But good throw very quickly from left fielder Kevin Ruggles. And Cam Bargo has the second hit of the day for Juniata. And it's a leadoff single here in the second. Good rip. It'll have to be tough for Jameson Peters over there at third to try to get that ball down. Right down the third base line. So here comes Bryce Harlan, the starting pitcher for Juniata. No doubt that he wants to have that last inning back. But Bryce Harlan ended the inning with back-to-back strikeouts. And before the first pitch, Harlan wants a quick timeout and look over to Juniata coach to make sure they got everything squared up and ready to go. Here's the signal. Here comes Bryce Harlan now. First pitch to him. And he swings and hits this one out to left field. Could be trouble, but no trouble at all for Kevin Ruggles. A long throw to first goes out of play. Or no, it's not out of play, but it goes all the way to the fence. And that's an F7, but followed by an E7. That puts Cam Bargo. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Cam Bargo,
coming back.
Cam Bargo, he did have a decent lead hanging over to second, and I think that's why Ruggles thought he would have had a shot at home, at first. But the thing is, the throw was so offline. Fortunately, didn't get out of play, but it's ruled an error. And that brings up Jack Greenholz. And there's ball 1 to the Juniata third baseman. This guy right here is moving his pickup truck. I think that's the wisest move because the car just a couple spots from him. It's almost hit, and that makes my car exposed now. Maybe I want to move my car too. 2 balls and no strikes here to Jack Greenhold. And swing and a miss. Jack Greenhold, good idea to swing on a hitter's count 2-0. Two balls and 1 strike here to third baseman. And swinging a pop-up. Playable in foul territory for Jameson Peters. He makes the grab, and there's out number 2. So up next here is the 9-hole hitter for Juniata. This is Hayden Bird. Runner on second here with 2 outs. And Bird has been struggling at the plate so far this season, but he's looking to make up for a base hit. Could bring in Juniata's first run of the game. There's a first pitch swing, and that's going to get down for the base hit. Actually gets past left fielder. This gets extra bases. Ruggles fires it towards the cutoff man, and it's an RBI double for Hayden Bird. And Juniata is on the board. It's now a 2-run ball game. Juniata being a very aggressive first pitch swinging team. This time it pays off for an RBI. And now back to the top of the lineup for the Indians as Dalen Kennedy. Swung on the first pitch. He flew out or grounded out to the second baseman. Here he takes the first pitch as ruled a strike in the eyes of Charles Kipp. Here's the 0-1 from Bates. And this ball is hit well, but this is going to get foul. That was good contact, but just a little bit from early swing there.
That would have been trouble.
Yeah, that would definitely brought in the second run. But it's foul right towards the batting cages here. And it's no balls and 2 strikes.
As far as distance, that's probably the farthest distance hit so far today.
Yeah, we haven't really, like on Friday, we haven't seen really balls that were hit that far. Except for that inside the park home run, but even that wasn't hit that far. It just got away from the outfielder. And yeah, like one thing I always wanted to see here at Newport is somebody can hit a home run through the goalpost out there in left field.
That would be pushing it.
And there's called strike 3 on the high fastball. Kennedy not happy about it, and that ends the inning. But Juniata gets on the board thanks to an RBI double for Hayden Bird. They're heading into the bottom of the second. It's now a 3-1 lead for Newport. Back here for the bottom of the second inning. Juniata able to get 1 run back in the top of the second. And for Newport, after having their first 7 hitters come up in the first, it's now 8-9-1 hitters stood up for the Buffaloes as Kevin Ruckles comes up for the top of the second to lead us off. And he swings that first pitch and pops this one up, heading towards the back stands. Almost to the stands. That's foul ball, strike 1. Yeah, we have one broken front windshield here for a poor guy who parked late after this game started. His front windshield hit by a high fly ball right behind us here. And that doesn't look good. But here's the swing, and now it goes out to left field for a base hit. Just gets by Dalen Kennedy at shortstop. That's a leadoff single for Kevin Ruggles. That's not bad there for Kevin Ruggles, especially after committing an error in the last half of the inning. So it makes up for it for a leadoff single. He's
came a long way since last year. I mean, man, him getting hits, getting on base running, fielding.
Some good stuff. Throw with a 1-0 doing as Jamison Peters comes up to bat for Newport. The 9-hole hitter on the Newport lineup. It's kind of funny, but Newport has 2 Jamisons. One on top of the lineup, the other on the bottom of the lineup. Here's the first pitch to Peters. He's trying to get a bunt down, but he pops it up and gets fouled back for strike one. And I just noticed that we have a new pitcher now for Juniata.
Number one.
Number one, that is Dalen Kennedy. Comes over from shortstop to now pitch. Only one inning for Bryce Harlan.
I think that's him out in. Is that him out in right field now?
So Dalen Kennedy comes over from shortstop, and the late fast Bryce Harlan now patrolling shortstop. Throw over to first, nothing doing. That's one thing that Bryce Harlan didn't do in the first inning. I don't think he threw over to any base once.
Once.
Or just once.
Once.
Yeah. If this was at West Perry pitching, they love to throw over a lot. Over at West Perry. And now here's the next pitch, and that's down low for a ball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Charles kept giving the count. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Cameron Ruggles are first after the leadoff single. And throw to first again, nothing doing. You know it's springtime when the bumblebees are out. Well, I had quite a few of them at the house today. It's always fun having the bumblebees out. It also means it's honey season. Little honey. And now here's a ground ball down third baseline, foul. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's also fishing season in Pennsylvania. Hope everyone had a good weekend fishing. So a couple of people have some nice fish. I just got my license on Saturday.
Wasn't fishing this weekend. Doing some target practice and smoked some pork butts.
Sounds like a good weekend.
Watching the races.
Yep. They had some big races over at Port Royal this past Saturday. The PA Posse Circuit. Incredible lineup there. And here's ball 2. Also want to give a shout out to the Juniata County Radio sports guide. It's Brad Strauss, where he does the commentary for Port Royal Speedway. He asked me earlier today. He texted me this morning asking if I wanted to broadcast the East Juniata game today. But I was expecting Safe Light to come over for my back windshield, and they didn't show up. But here I am today now for the other team in Juniata County, and there is strike 3 called. First strikeout for Dalen Kennedy. And there's 1 out here, and back to the top of the lineup for the Newport Buffaloes as Jameson Cummins comes back. He singled on a 2-0 count his first time up. Later came around to score. But remember the storyline in the first inning for Newport. Despite having 3 runs, they have 5 stolen bases in the first inning. And now a check swing here on a pitch in dirt. That is 1-0. Appeal down to Myron Labo, our bases umpire. Says he did not swing, so it's 1-0. But yeah, weather conditions here absolutely stunning for early part of April. Thrower to first, nothing doing.
Kennedy's not giving him a chance to get a lead and steal this inning.
Kennedy being very weary of the run around first, and now a 2-0 count as this pitch is in the dirt. There is a Perry County matchup happening at Susquehanna today in the Tri-Valley League. Susquehanna taking on Greenwood. Susquehanna already defeated Greenwood earlier this season. Another Tri-Valley League matchup. And there is strike 1 called on 2-0 count. Surprisingly, Jameson Cummins didn't swing at that one. And I don't think he wanted to because it looked like a high fastball. Cummins looking back at the home plate umpire Charles Kipp there for a second. But now 2-1. High fastball laid up for ball 3. Logan Bates is on deck for Newport. It really is hard to believe that on Thursday, heard this from District 3, that Thursday is the official start of the second half of the season. Can you believe it? Yeah, I know. It goes by so quick. Second half of the season already. Coming up on Thursday. That was a good drive for Cummins, but well, foul had that big curve there down fair baseline towards the stands. As 3 balls and 2 strikes. You know, one thing I forgot to do on Friday for Newport and Greenwood, I wanted to get the opinions of all the coaches and players of potentially having a banana ball Perry County tournament.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that would be a huge thing.
The thing is, where can we have it though? Because we won't be able to have it at their school.
No, I don't think they will have it at school as a full count pitch is ball 4. So that puts runners at the corner, or runners at first and second here with only 1 out.
I got to get
I
contact with somebody for over at the Bloomfield there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do have a nice field
behind
the behind the post office there in New Bloomfield.
Yep.
Yeah, the Perry County. What league is that? The Twilight team. They use that field behind the post office in the Bloomfield. That could be an ideal place to have it. Here's Logan Bates swinging at the first pitch and misses for strike 1. Runners at first and second here with only 1 out. I mean, if we could also get the thoughts of all 4 athletic directors in Perry County, see if they'd be willing. I mean, who knows, to have it one of the fields. Here's a line drive, but foul ball down the first baseline. That was close, but definitely foul. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Like if I had to pick for having a banana ball tournament at any of the high school fields, I think it's safe to say that Newport would be number 1. I mean, this field is absolutely spectacular, but yeah, that's the thing.
In the bleachers,
we can have fans in the bleachers. That would be great to have. And throw to second. Nothing doing it. Second baseman was way off.
There's no net on them bleachers over there, so.
Yeah, I mean, to have fans right there in the stands, we can fill every single one of those spots in the bleachers, and that would be some good foul ball territory for a fan to make a catch.
Have gloves.
Yeah, oh yeah, you'll have to have gloves. And there is a swing, and that's foul back.
I'm thinking
no balls and 2
field
strikes.
in town there.
Yeah.
Or maybe down there at where's it at? Marysville.
Marysville? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's behind the.
The Bloomfield would be ideal. It's more central for all 4 schools.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. No question about that. And, yeah, you can fill a bunch of fans down each baseline. And look back to second. And Kevin Ruggles over there at second and tripping on his way to second without a throw. They are keeping a close eye. I mean, they do know that Kevin Ruggles is a speed threat for Newport. That's why he is a left fielder. And next pitch just missing. Good waste pitch there for Kennedy. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's the next pitch, and that's upstairs for ball 2. Shermansdale might not be a bad place to have a Perry County banana ball tournament, like out there at that baseball and softball complex they have. Like the Shermansdale Softball Association uses.
They have so many different games out there now.
Yeah. And, a foul ball off the umpire's mask. Kind of remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
There's that other one off 850 there, just outside of.
Yeah.
That would be probably an option.
See, I know what field you're talking about there. I drive by that field a lot, and every single time I drive by that field, I see nobody there. I don't know who uses that.
I think for soccer.
Oh.
You see a lot of little soccer teams and stuff in there, practicing.
But they have a baseball field there, so
because some of the places I know, I go by there, a couple times a week.
Yeah.
In the evenings, you see them.
Yeah. But if you're watching this on YouTube or watching this later on Facebook, let us know. Let us know your thoughts. Like, see if there's any ideal locations, or if you be
Have
want
any
to
connections?
be have any connections. Like, of course, banana ball is a huge thing as the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes to Logan Bates. Banana ball is a huge thing in Perry County, mainly because of West Perry graduate Ben Dump, who plays banana ball. He plays for the firefighters, and if you haven't looked him up, look him up. He does so much for the West Perry community and Perry County throughout. And 3-2 pitch just misses for ball 4.
Bases are now loaded. For
Back-to-back walks here with. We'll put the bases loaded here with only 1 out. Timeout call here as the infielders are going to get together and talk things over. And for Landon Saring.
Last time he's up, he had, what, a 2 RBI single?
Yep, 2-run single for Landon Saring last time up, who comes up now with the bases loaded. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, hit us up in the comments. If you're watching this on a replay on Facebook later,
it's on Facebook right now.
Or it's on Facebook now.
I shared it. Whenever I do it, I share it on Facebook.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, let us know in the comments. See if you would like to be a part of that or any ideal locations. We want to get this going. Maybe we can get something going in the summer. I would love to get Ben Downwolfer. The only problem is he plays banana ball now, and he lives down in Georgia. Yeah, but that would be cool if we can get him involved. But yeah, I mean, Ben Dunn, I think the one play that every Perry Countyan has to look at was a couple years ago when he pitched against the Bananas in Washington, D.C. at Nationals Park. He did the handstand pitch, and that's all anybody talks about for Ben Dunn anymore. He became an overnight sensation because of that handstand pitch. And here's a high fly ball. Bates back. Fortunately, nobody gets a hold of that. Or got a hold of that one. Count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Bases are loaded here with only 1 out. Landon Saring going to step off here for Kennedy. Kevin Ruggles at third. Jameson Cummins at second, and Logan Bates at first. Back-to-back walks. And all 1 pitch on pitch at dirt. Bates. Saring swings and misses. There's now no balls and 2 strikes. There's the 0-1, and that is, or 0-2, and it's called strike 3. Big out there for Kennedy for a big out number 2, and the bases remain loaded.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, it does not. Landon Saring, one of the top hitters in the Tri-Valley, goes down looking. And out here comes Zach Bates. He drove for an RBI on a ground out to shortstop his last time up. And here he swings and fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. The next time I'll be here at Newport will be this coming Friday for the 2026 Perry County Softball Tournament. The Newport Lady Buffs, they're at home today too. They are at home against, Susquehanna today?
Or home or away?
Or were they away? Newport Softball?
I don't remember. Most of the time when we're home, they're away.
Yeah. Oh, Newport Softball is... I think you heard
times this year they've both been home.
Hold on, I'm about to look this up here. And
I wish I'd do it on different days.
This timeout is going on here.
Both of them.
Yeah, that would be nice. Let's see what I can find here on the Newport Athletics website. So there's a timeout call because they want to take a look at the Juniata catcher.
That bounce came up him.
Yeah, that's Cam Barco behind the plate, and that last ball went off him pretty well, actually. But yeah, Newport Softball, they'll be back here at home on Friday for the Perry County Softball Tournament. They are taking on Susquehanna in the semifinals. As Perry will be taking on Greenwood in the other semifinal right here in Newport. And next pitch just misses. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and one strike pitch. Here it is. That's up and in. Ball 2. Or no, I take it back. Softball is actually at Juniata today. Yeah, softball is at Juniata. What was I thinking about Juniata softball in Susquehanna? That happened earlier. There's a 2-1 pitch, and I swung on and fouled away. Yeah, on Wednesday, both Newport baseball and softball are here at home as they both take on Line Mountain. And a 2-2 pitch taken, called, strike 3. Kennedy gets out of a bases loaded jam with back-to-back strikeouts here in the second.
See, that's one thing with Line Mountain up there. I can't live stream up there.
Oh, Line Mountain, no,
They're here. I can live.
It's not a good reception up there.
Since I
means
get that Starlink room, I'll be able to live stream up there then.
Sure. Well, back case here. Strands the bases loaded for Newport. We are heading into the third inning. It's still 3-1 for Newport Buffaloes. Third inning we go here at Newport. This game definitely going a little slower than the game we had here on Friday. But so far so good here for Newport. But they had the bases loaded in the last half of the inning. And back-to-back strikeouts kept them there. And kept our score at 3-1 for Newport. And up next here for Juniata, here comes Drew Giddy. 2, 3, and 4 hitters stood up for the Juniata Indians. As Drew Giddy, he swung at the first pitch and ground out to Landon Saring. For the second out back in the first, so he's 0 for 1. And the first pitch to him is upstairs. Roll the ball, it's 1-0. We have looks like we have 2 trains going by here. Right here in Newport. No, they got a lot of trains going by here. And next pitch is in for ball. It's 1-1. Luke, the Juniata Indians trying to get fired up here in the third inning. And next pitch is upstairs for ball 2. Drew Giddy has the 6th most RBIs in the Tri-Valley League. He has 8 of them so far this season. Not an RBI opportunity here unless if he hits one out. And that's upstairs for ball 3. Logan Bates still pitching for Newport. Now his third inning of work. Giddy 3-1, and that's upstairs, but ruled a strike. Fairly consistent here as our home plate umpire, Charles Kim. Mr. Perry County himself baseball umpiring. He likes those high strikes. And here's the 3-2, and that's in for called strike 3. Logan Bates found the slider, found the corner of the strike zone, and that's strikeout number 3 for Bates as he starts the third inning the same way he ends the second with a strikeout, 1 away. That's back-to-back strikeouts looking too for Juniata. Up next here is Carson Nipple. He became the first base runner for the Indians in this ball. He walked back in the first. Here he swings at a high fastball and he pops it up. And Bates going down the first base line. He makes the grab. And there are 2 quick outs here in the third. Up next, here comes Caleb Walker, the first baseman. Today, Newport Buffaloes baseball versus Juniata is brought to you by the Landsberg and by Pico Yardscape. And first pitch to Walker is upstairs for a ball. It's 1-0. Walker was down 2 strikes in the first inning before he reached first on an infield single. Here's the next pitch, and that's swung on. It heads straight back, and it's strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. One thing I keep forgetting to ask, there's a house right up here behind the plate. That is a cool spot right there. I don't know who lives there, but
I think whenever they have the football games, every touchdown, he puts fireworks off.
That's cool. That's very cool. But here's a base hit here for Caleb Walker. And that's a 2-out single. That's his second hit of the game. It's now 2 for 2. And the inning keeps going. A 2-out single. But yeah, like that's I can only imagine how much that house is worth. But if you're up there, you like baseball and football, then that's the house you want to be living in.
It's not very old. I think it's probably 5 years.
It looks
maybe.
fairly new. I mean, it's a really cool spot. There comes Quinn Houts. He takes a look at ball down low. It's 1-0. Houts struck out swinging to end the first inning.
Yeah, some people in Newport were complaining and stuff that whenever the football team scores a touchdown, he'd put fireworks off.
Well, why not? I mean, I wish every high school program did that. And that was a ground ball. That was a fair ball down the third baseline. A great play for Jamison Peters. Fires over to first. And that ends the inning. A 5-3 putout. Nothing doing after a 2-out single for Caleb Walker. We're heading into the bottom of the third. Still a 3-1 lead for Newport. Bottom of the third we go here for the Newport Buffaloes. So far through 2 innings, 3 runs on 4 hits. They left 4 runners left on base, including they left the bases loaded in the second inning. And they're looking for a better outcome here in the third as they're up by 2 runs. During the break, we were talking about Newport football. And the house that we see here, right off to our left here, above the baseball field, like every time they score a touchdown, they set off fireworks. And at first, people were complaining about, like people in town were complaining about the fireworks during football games every time Newport scored a touchdown. But hey, I mean, on a Friday night, why complain? I mean, especially that's cool for the kids.
He's supporting the school, supporting the kids.
Yeah, for real. I mean, the school's not telling them to set off fireworks. It's just on them. And like, I mean, seriously, how many football games can you have, or how many touchdowns can you have in a single game? Well, there was one apparently last year where there was like 5 or 6 touchdowns. This is Austin Baker here, and Austin Baker grounds this one over to the shortstop, a long throw first, and a scoop, and that is safe. Good effort there for the shortstop. The shortstop now is Drew Geedy. Or was he out? And Josh Skip telling Austin Baker to pick up his bat and hand it off. Okay,
I think it might have been the way he threw it or something back.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
That's one thing that's kind of getting big in some of these places you're seeing.
Yeah, I guess. But Austin Baker reaches first on what's going to be ruled an E6. So that brings up Chris Imler. Running on first here with nobody out. The throw looked to be in time, but not handled well on the scoop by the first baseman, Caleb Walker. So here's Chris Imler now. He takes a look at a caught strike. Imler struck out, swinging his last time up for the second out in the first. That's the first ever of the game for Juniata. Skeety had to throw down low over the first. For the first, and now they got him in a rundown. And the throw is offline at second, and that is a stolen base. Caleb Walker had to throw, but it was offline. Trying to get the tag down there was Geedy. But yeah, that's going to result in a stolen base. That's the second one for Austin Baker now. It's no balls and 1 strike to Chris Imler.
Yeah, I just looked back on the YouTube feed. He was safe by not very much.
Yeah, it was definitely close. It would have definitely been out of the throw was more on target as the bunt gets down here for Imler. Picked up by Kennedy and gets the out at first. So a successful sacrifice here for Chris Imler. Puts the Austin Baker over to third. And there's 1 out here in the third. I'll bring up Landon Sechik. Struck out looking to end the first inning on a high fastball. And waiting the signal from the Newport coach. Got some furry friends up here in the parking lot. Cute, nice husky and guard retriever. And now this pitch digs inside and for the third. And it's in time. What was almost a disaster for Juniata ends up getting Austin Baker out of third. Count is 1-0 to Sechik. That pitch almost got away at the plate, but then a wild throw was almost offline from Cam Bargo. He finds the third baseman, Jack Greenhall, and gets the tag down in time. So we start over now with 2 outs. And the base is empty, and there is ball 2 down low.
Yeah, the golden retriever from Comps Barbershop was up here watching the game for a couple seconds.
Cute dog. 2-0 is swung on and missed. And those are 2 balls and 1 strike. Actually, Charles Kipp says it was fouled at the plate. Still a strike regardless, so it's 2 balls and a strike. And Sechik, base is empty here of 2 outs. 2-1, and that's right down the middle. Road to strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the Newport center fielder. We are under the lights here at Newport High School. Here's the 2-2 and a high fastball, and Kennedy wanted that strike, but instead the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kevin Ruggles, who had a leadoff single in the second, is on deck for the Buffs. So 3-2 from Kennedy is swung on and missed. Strikeout number 4 now for Kennedy, and that ends the inning. Nothing doing after the error. After a sac bunt and a pickoff over a third, followed by a strikeout. And we're heading into the 4th inning. 3 innings complete. Newport leads 3-1 after 3. This is Newport Baseball versus the Juniata Indians. Exclusively on the Pico Sports Talk YouTube channel, presented by the Bank of Landsberg and by Pico Yardscape.
I got 13 people watching now. See, we don't get the views and stuff like we normally do, like when we're streaming. We get them overall, still, but we come back up and stuff. We need to say something like that there, because we're streaming to YouTube, because Facebook hits us with all these copyright stuff that Jordan was singing the national anthem and apparently think it's the NHL. Who is that? Your biggest fan right there, Dolores. See,
we are back here for the 4th inning. We have a comment here for our YouTube channel, and it's my biggest fan, Dolores Kidner. Yeah, I mean, of course, she knows me from West Perry, but yeah, she is, without question, my #1 fan. And thank you so much for tuning in on YouTube. I am Alex Wall, the Golden Pipes of Perry County Baseball. And here is the first pitch swinging from Cam Bargo, and this looks like trouble, but instead it's caught by the shortstop. That's Lance starting a nice grab down the third base line for a big out on 1 pitch here in the 4th. Man, Lance had a long way to go to make that grab, but he made it look easy. And that'll bring up Bryce Harlan. Bryce Harlan was the starting pitcher for Juniata. Well, he went 1 inning, facing 7 batters. Here he rips at the first pitch and gets down to a knee, and the left fielder, Kevin Ruggles, says he made the grab. But, or did he not? The umpires, Ruggles thought, or no, the hitter, Bryce Harlan, said he may make that catch. It looked like he did. And that's allowed out number 2.
Yep. His glove was underneath it.
Okay, so good catch there for Ruggles. Got down to a knee. He made the catch. There's 2 outs on 2 pitches. And now Jack Greenhold works that pitch upstairs and in for ball 1. And next pitch is in for a called strike. Juniata not happy about that call. That's ball 1 strike. Juniata starting to feel it. You hear how loud the dugout got for Juniata, and Bryce Harlan had that rip out to left field. And there's a swing and a miss from Greenhold. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Juniata making a lot of noise as a swing and a miss. A quick inning as the Juniata Indians go down 1-2-3 in the 4th. We are hanging into the bottom of the 4th. Still 3-1 for Newport. A very quick top half of the fourth inning as Juniata went down 1-2-3 for the first time in this game. And now we head to the bottom of the fourth as the bottom of the lineup due up for Newport. 8-9-1 hitters due up. So we got Kevin Ruggles. And off here in the bottom of the fourth. Dalen Kennedy still pitching now for Juniata. And our first pitch to Kevin Ruggles. It's down low for a ball. Ruggles led off the second inning with a leadoff single out towards left field. Here he leads us off here in the fourth. There's the 1-0. Dalen Kennedy swing and foul back. 1-1 strike here to the Newport left fielder. Weather-wise, he absolutely cannot complain. And but looked like trouble here for Juniata in the first inning after giving up 3 runs in the first inning. But Juniata has been fairly consistent so far since Dalen Kennedy came up the pitch. In the second inning, but here's a rip out towards center field. House is underneath it. He makes the grab right out here in the fourth. I'll bring up Jamison Peters now. We are under the lights here at Newport High School. A few clouds around the area, especially up north, heading towards Mifflintown. And as far as weather goes, we did have a little bit of a couple sprinkles, a little sprinkle here before the start of this game. But overall, a very beautiful night here in Newport. And first pitch here to Jamison Peters, a nice curveball, but just missing. Or no, ruled a strike. See, that can be tough for Charles Kibb. I mean, looking at him and the way he delivers strikes. Here's the 0-1. And there's the curveball again. This time it definitely misses for ball 1. Oh, 1-1 misses inside. Peter is getting out of the way of that one. It's 2 balls in the strike. Jamison Peters struck out looking his first time up in the second. And here he drops one back to Kennedy. And throw first well in time. And 2 quick outs here in the fourth. Back to the top of our lineup now for the Buffs. As Jamison Cummins. He has been a tough out. As well as the top 3 in the order for Newport. All total in the top 3 in the lineup, a combined 2 for 4. Only 1 out so far in the top 3 in the lineup. A couple of walks, a hit by pitch, 2 singles. And swing a line drive foul. Right over the stands there in Newport.
Not many goes over that fence.
No, it doesn't. All right. That's probably why you don't see many fans sing there in the bleachers. We do see 5 brave souls over there sitting in the stands.
Oh, there's been some in the visiting team would sit over there. Next thing you know, they're soon moving over this way.
Well, I believe it. Check swing here on a pitch in the dirt, and it's down low for ball 1. 1-1 strike here to Jamison Cummins. Singled back in the first inning. He walked his last time up in the second. Here he's got 2 outs. 1-1 strike pitch here from Kennedy to the Newport catcher. And swung on and missed. Big hack there for Cummins. Count goes to 1-1, 2 strikes. Juniata went down 1-2-3 in the top of the fourth. Out the Indians defense looking to return the favor. 1 ball, 2 strikes, or 2 outs. And the 1-2 swung on and hit high and deep, but it was back deep foul. Just short of the woods.
Almost hit the buffalo on the hill.
Yep, almost did hit that buffalo. Can you imagine if Newport ever brings a real buffalo here? Like you first see a car right out there, the Buffaloes. They actually have a buffalo running out on the field for their football games.
That would be awesome to have.
Yeah.
But you never see that here.
The next pitch is upstairs for ball 2. Why? Because nobody can afford a buffalo, or nobody can tame one, or it's like
if
a
it
safe.
gets out anywhere, at least the other thing, there's people standing there, but the fans can't get hit. Here, it'd get right into the stands.
Yeah,
it'd get right through
mostly a safety issue, I guess. Yeah. And next
big
pitch, this ball is hit hard out towards left field, but going underneath it, there is Carson Nipple. And the Buffaloes go down 1, 2, 3 in the fourth. 3 up, 3 down in each half of the fourth inning. And we are heading into the fifth inning of this one. The Buffaloes still lead 3-1 after 4. Back here for the fifth inning. The first inning took a little bit, the first 2 innings actually, but the fourth inning, that's as fast as it gets. 3 up, 3 down in each half of the fourth inning. And now here we are in the fifth for the Juniata Indians. As it's a 9-1 and 2 hitters due up. Here comes Hayden Bird. He had an RBI double his last time out. He is responsible for the only run here. He swings at the first pitch and grounds it to Logan Bates. Once again, that's 1 pitch and 1 out. That's the 3rd time in this game in 5 innings that Juniata has an out on the first pitch. I understand you want to be aggressive at the dish, but it doesn't pay off that well if you keep hitting right to a defender. But back to the top of the order now for Juniata. Here comes Dalen Kennedy, who has been red hot since he came in to pitch in the 2nd inning. Here he takes a look at a strike. 0-1. Dalen Kennedy, however, 0 for 2 so far at the dish. Ground out on the first pitch in the first. They struck out looking on 3 pitches back in the 2nd. And next pitch is missed for ball 1. And the last inning for Logan Bates on the mound, he only needed 6 pitches to get entire side in the 4th. 2 balls and 1 strike now. There's a 2-1. And that's in for a called strike. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So far for Juniata, 1 run on 4 hits. Both teams with 1 error so far in this game. Here's their 2-2. Slow slider stays upstairs for ball 3. Drew Geedy is on deck for Juniata. It's a 3-2, and we'll do it again as the last pitch is fouled back. Dayton Kennedy, one of the top hitters on the Juniata team. Drew Beatty, another good hitter on deck for the Indians. 3-2 again, miss inside, actually hits Kennedy. That's the first Juniata batter to be hit by Logan Bates. And there's a runner on first with one out. I'll bring up Drew Geedy. Drew Geedy has the most RBIs on the Juniata team. He has 8 of them. And that's RBI opportunity here, but he's 0 for 2, throw to first, nothing doing. We are weighing the final score for Susquehanna baseball as they're hosting Greenwood today in the Perry County matchup. We'll try to find the next half of the inning, and next pitch is in for a called strike to Geedy. Count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Swing a pop-up out or fly out towards right field, and Kennedy was off and running heading towards second. He retreats back to first. And Gray flies out. He's now 0 for 3, and that's out number 2.
That light pole's been in the way twice now. They need to relocate it for us.
Yeah, sure. Here comes Carson Nipple now. Throw over, nothing doing. Under the lights here in Newport, throw to first, nothing doing again. As Kennedy dives back in safely. And now there goes Kennedy. Takes off for a second, and his throw is not in time. Good throw there by Jameson Collins. But Kennedy has the stolen base. That's the first stolen base in the game for Juniata. Count is no balls and 1 strike to Carson Nipple. He walked his first time up, but popped out to Logan Bates his last time up. And now there goes Kennedy again, and he's easily going to take third. As the last pitch was rolled a strike. It's no balls and 2 strikes. That's a big run over there at third for Juniata, trying to make this a run game. But it's no balls and 2 strikes to Carson Nipple. There's the 0-2, and swinging won't do it again as this ball is fouled back right behind the Juniata school bus. Juniata school bus team bus is right behind us here.
There's a lot of windows there for it to hit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's not just one window on the school bus, there's a bunch of them. And next pitch is popped up. Could be playable down the first baseline. And a one-handed grab by the first baseman, Zach Bates. He makes the grab right in front of the fence, and that ends the inning. Juniata leaves their runner at third. We are heading into the bottom of the 5th. Still a 3-1 lead for Newport. back here for the bottom of the 5th inning. We are rolling right along here. I do have a schedule correction I need to make. I was talking about Greenwood hosting Susquehanna today. Well, apparently that's not the case. That's actually happening on Wednesday. And it's at Susquehanna. Greenwood is at Susquehanna on Wednesday for a Prairie County matchup. But we'll talk about Wildcats in a moment. As for Newport, it's 2, 3, and 4 here stood up for the Buffs as Logan Bates, Landon Sering, and Zach Bates coming up the bat for Newport here in the bottom of the 5th. We are rolling right along here.
Bottom of the 5th.
So here we go with Newport. Here comes Logan Bates. It's been a tough out. No official at bat for him. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Then he walked back in the 2nd. Here he leads us off here in the 5th. There's the first pitch to him, and this ball's ripped out towards center field. As Hout's going after it, he makes a grab, and there's 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 5th. I'll bring on Landon Sering. Landon Sering has the big hit so far for Newport. A 2-run single that put the Buffs on the board first back in the 1st inning. 2-run single. He later scored on a ground out by Zach Bates. One out here, base is empty. Here's the first pitch to him, and that just misses for ball 1. Let's take a Charles Kipp, he was hearing something from a Juniata dugout, and Charles Kipp says enough. Something was said there on the Juniata dugout, questioning the strike zone from Charles Kipp, our home plate umpire. And there is ball 2. Yeah, that's definitely a warning from Charles Kipp towards the Juniata dugout. It's 2-0 now to Landon Sering. The Greenwood Wildcats, they won the Prairie County Championship for the first time in program history this past Friday. And this is a Greenwood team that started the season 1-3 overall, and now they won 4 in a row. They won on Saturday against Antietam, and they'll be taking on Susquehanna on the road down at Duncannon on Wednesday. And this 2-0 pitch ends up hitting Sering. Looked like a fastball there. But Sering hit by a pitch. Definitely something you don't want to be doing there. If you're shooting on, that'll bring up Zach Bates. Zach Bates is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Brought in a run on a ground out to shortstop back in the 1st inning. He ended the 2nd inning by striking out looking. First here with 1 out now after a hit by a pitch to the star shortstop Landon Sering. So here's Zach Bates, the first baseman. Looking to bunt, and there goes Sering on his way to 2nd, and throw not in time. And Sering steals 2nd. That's his 3rd stolen base now in this game. He had 2 of them in the 1st. He stole 2nd and 3rd base. And now he has his 3rd stolen base. Landon Sering, the speed threat. Now in scoring position, it's 1-0 now to Zach Bates. Step off here and throw. Oh, a nice save for the 2nd baseman, Drew Geedy. Or no, Drew Geedy's over at shortstop now. I forgot about that. There's the next pitch, and that's a dirt for ball 2. Things just got really quiet here in this inning. As Dalen Kennedy still pitching for Juniata and swinging on a hitter's count 2-0. Fouls it back, 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, so Greenwood has won 4 in a row. A 3-1 win at Upper Dolphin, an 8-5 win at Juniata and the Indians last game. and 5-4 here on Friday for the Pico Championship. And 3-2 was the final on Saturday against Antietam. Perry County champions Greenville Wildcats are at Susquehanna on Wednesday for a 4:30 start. And throw over the second, throw us offline. There's a 2-1, and that just misses for ball 3. Juniata not fans of that call either. That's 3 balls and 1 strike. Austin Baker, the designated hitter for Newport, is on deck. Austin Baker having himself a better day today. When he is on deck, here's the 3-1 pitch to Zach Bates, and that gets away, but it's ball 4 anyway. But on the wild pitch, actually, I forgot Landon Sering was at second, so he goes over to third on a wild pitch. And on ball 4, that puts runners in the corners with only 1 out for Austin Baker. Austin Baker reached on error his last time up, but he had an infield single back in the first, so he's 1 for 2. And timeout called here as Juniata getting together on this one before Austin Baker comes out, the designated hitter. And this is a guy, even though he has struggled as of in the last couple of games, Austin Baker for Newport, he is 9th in the Tri-5 League with 7 ribbies. I'm looking for an 8th one here. We're running out third as Juniata coach takes a timeout. Have you ever thought becoming a PIAA official? You ever thought becoming a baseball umpire? Now's your opportunity. Go to PIAA.org to find out how you can become a PIAA official. Again, that is PIAA.org. Charles Kipp and Myron Lebo are umpires here today. Our next broadcast is tomorrow over on Huddle TV. We have West Prairie Softball, who will be here on Friday against Greenville in the Perry County Tournament semifinals, as West Prairie Softball Mid-Penn Colonial Division matchup tomorrow against Greencastle Antrim. That is tomorrow at 4 o'clock on Huddle TV. Look up West Prairie Huddle to subscribe today. West Prairie Baseball have a tough season so far. 1-6 so far this season. They are at Greencastle Antrim tomorrow. The Blue Devils are undefeated. 8-0 so far. And a bunt attempt here for Austin Baker is pulled back as a ball. Meanwhile, Zach Bates takes off for second with a stolen base. And now 2 runners in scoring position here with only 1 out. As the sun is setting down here in Perry County. And we are under the lights here at Newport High School. A 1-0 is swung on, and a blooper right towards the Juniata dugout is foul for 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, there really should be like a rule that every high school in Perry County should have lights. There's just something different about the atmosphere for Newport that's different compared to everyone else.
Newport has lights.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the lights. It's also like the environment here. Like, you got the bleachers that they use for football, and you got a beautiful view out where you see Route 11 out there in the distance. Pretty much seeing the entire town. I mean, it's just absolutely breathtaking here. One of the best views, in my opinion, in all District 3 baseball. As a swing and chop foul. Count goes even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Austin Baker. Newport designated hitter. I mean, truthfully, I really hope we get a Perry County Banana Ball tournament someday, and I would love for it to be here. Maybe we can talk to the athletic director, Sean Lesh, here and see if we can get something going with that. Here's a 2 balls and 2 strike pitch. Swing and a miss from Baker. Baker goes down on strikes for the first time, and there's out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up Chris Adler. Second baseman. 0 for 1. Laid down a sacrifice bunt his last time up, but he struck out swinging in the first. Here he swings at the first pitch and misses for strike one. That has been the name of the game so far here today. The big stat. First pitch swinging for both of these teams. That's happened quite a few times. More often than any other game. Next pitch is in the dirt. Hammer followed by a swing on that one. But nice stop by the catcher Cam Bargo to keep Landon staring at third. Landon staring at third. Zach Bates over at second. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. The next pitch is down low. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike to Newport second baseman. The 2-1 is swung on, chopped over shortstop. Have to hurry here, and nice play for Drew Keating. Goes to first, is in time, and the Newport Buffaloes strand 2 runners in scoring position. 5 innings complete, and it's still 3-1 for the Newport Buffaloes. This is Newport Baseball versus Juniata Indians, exclusively on the Pico Sports Talk YouTube channel, and it's brought to you by the Bank of Landsberg and by Pico Yardscape. Five innings complete. Inning number 6 we go. We have a good one here. A good pitching matchup so far on this one. As the Juniata Indians, they've only got 1 run on 4 hits. They were hitless in the last 2 innings, but Newport, they're looking for their first hit since heading right in the 2nd inning. So here we go with the Juniata Indians, the heart of the lineup. 4, 5, and 6 hitters stood up for the Indians. As Kenneth Barker takes a look at first pitch ball upside and in for ball 1. Alker has been a tough out, the first baseman. 2 for 2, and now ground over to second. Chris Daimler, a quick throw to first. It's in time, and that's the first time Caleb Alker is set down. He's now 2 for 3 with 2 singles. 1 out here in the top half of inning number 6. Juniata quickly down to their final 5 outs. And here comes Quentin Houts. Houts 0 for 2, struck out to end the first, ground out to third to end the 3rd inning. And high fastball laid off for ball 1. So far for Juniata, 1 run on just 4 hits. 1 error on Newport defense so far, 1 as well on Juniata. Next pitch is down low, or no, ruled a strike. It's 1 ball and a strike. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in on Pico Sports Talk YouTube channel. I'm Mike Swall alongside Nick Miller. Timeout called here before the next pitch on 1 ball and 1 strike. Juniata, they know they have a comeback coming. But they're down to their final 5 outs, and they need to get some base runners here We get back into this game. Juniata with 1 win so far. This is their 5th game in the Tri-Valley League. It's been all TVL action so far for Juniata. 1-4 overall and in the TVL West. But think about this for Newport. They are in first place of the West Division, and they're only a half a game ahead of the Greenwood Wildcats. Greenwood is at Susquehanna on Wednesday. One pitch is down low in the dirt for ball 2. There's a 2-1, and that's down low in the dirt for ball 3. So 3-1 now to Quentin House. Cam Bargo is on deck, and 3-1 is down low for ball 4. So 1 out walk brings up the tying run to the plate. Here comes Cam Bargo, the only Juniata player to score in this game. Had a leadoff single in the second, came around the score. He popped out to the shortstop down the third baseline his last time up. So he's 1 for 2. Juniata taking their time here, being patient at the plate this time around, and a good pitch there, but missing ball 1. Not nearly as big of a crowd as we saw here on Friday, but the home faithful for Newport coming off strong here today. There are a few Juniata fans making a short trip from Mifflintown to be here. There's swing, and this is a drive out to center field. It gets down on right center. House is on its way over to third, and on the throw, Bargo goes to second. It's a single for Cam Bargo. He goes to second on the throw, and now the tying runs are in scoring position. Now you're going to have a courtesy runner at second for the Juniata catcher. It's number 14, Jason Kondo. And before the next batter comes out, it's Bryce Harlan. Here comes Newport Steve Steiders to come out, and this might be it. We might have a pitching change here. Let's see what Steve Steiders wants to do here. With a dangerous hitter coming up to play, Bryce Harlan. He's 0 for 2, but he hit the ball hard both times, flying out to left field. So you got to be wary for Kevin Ruggles, who is out in left field. And looks like there will not be a pitching change. Only 1 out here in the top of inning number 6. The tying runs are in scoring position. Quinn House is at third. The courtesy runner, Jason Kondo, is over at second. Here comes Bryce Harlan. He was the starting pitcher, but now has the chance to tie it up with a base hit. The infielders are in here with 1 out. Curveball finds the strike zone down low. It's 0-1. The infielders coming in on the edge of the infield grass, trying to keep the score where it is. There's the 0-1, and that finds the zone as well. It's strike 2. Different this time for Bryce Harlan. In each of his first 2 at-bats, he swung on the first pitch. Here he's 0-2 now. Well, a big RBI opportunity here. The 0-2 is swing and a miss. A late swing from Harlan. Down strikes, and that's a big out, number 2. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter here for Juniata. That's Garrett Imes, the big fella coming up to bat. So a pinch hitter here. That's Garrett Imes for Juniata. They have a chance to tie it up. And he springs at the first pitch and fouls it straight back out of play. It's 0-1. Juniata is down to their final 4 outs. This is a big kid right here. This looks like he might play football. I don't know too much about Juniata football or baseball. Uh,
A lot of the Juniata
you
boys
got a
think
big hitter here. And Juniata, he has that big time power. No balls, one strike. Here's the next pitch. A swing and a miss from Imes. Makes it no balls and 2 strikes. Logan Bates still pitching for Newport. Looking to get out this inning and halfway with 3 outs left in the 7th. The 0-2. And swing a pop up. And this will go foul out of
back
play.
out of play.
One thing I find interesting about the baseball field here at Newport, you only have one dugout. You got one dugout here, and for Newport, well, they have a concession stand. Like, how many baseball
it's only a
fields can say
concession
that?
stand for
Yeah.
football. That's it.
Well, yeah, like it's the concession stand for football. Yeah, they have another concession stand down the third baseline here. That's for baseball. The concession stand / dugout.
Well, one's a regular concession stand for the boosters. The other one's for the
I think it's the marching
band or
band.
something,
I think it's the marching band's concession down the first baseline where Newport team is stationed. Still no balls and 2 strikes. A good battle here for Garrett Imes with 2 strikes. Looking to bring in the tying runs. Here's the 0-2 again and a high fastball laid off by Imes. Goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a 1-2 upstairs again. Evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Logan Bates trying to get out of this thing. The 2-2 swing and a ground ball and off the third baseman. And he throws to first and the throw is not in time. Oh my goodness, the ball went right to the third baseman, Jamison Peters. I think he stepped on the bag because he thought he had the force out, but the problem was the bases were not loaded. Now he throws on the first, it wasn't in time. It's got to be ruled an infield single for Garrett Imes and brings in a run. It's now 3-2 Newport. Now I gotta have a pinch runner as check Greenholt goes to first. And now here is Hayden Bird as Greenholt steals second. So now that's the go-ahead run over at second. And count is 1 ball and no strikes here to Hayden Bird. Had the RBI double back in the second. Here he has a chance to give Juniata the lead. He checks the swing, but it's ruled a strike anyway. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. The tying run at third. Half swing, but roll a strike again. And Bird now 1 ball and 2 strikes in the count. The tying run is at third. The go-ahead run is at second. The 1-2 swing and a pop-up. Could be playable behind the plate, and the catcher going after it. Nice grab for Jamison Cummins, ends the inning.
That's a good save for Newport for the inning.
Run comes across the score on an infield single from the pinch hitter Garrett Imes. And a P2 ends it. We are hanging into the bottom of the 6th. The Newport Buffaloes now up 3-2. Looking for some insurance in the bottom of the 6th.
But it takes a while for the comments to go to it.
bottom half of inning number 6. The Juniata Indians make this a 1-1 ball game. Had a chance to tie it and take the lead in the last half of the inning, leaving 2 runners in scoring position. That has been a problem for both these teams here today. And a bigger problem for the Newport Buffaloes. They are looking for their first hit since hitting one in the second inning. It has been solid work so far for Dayton Kennedy, only giving up 1 hit through 3 innings. All 3 runs for Newport were in the first inning. And now 3-2 ball game. And for Newport, it's the bottom of the order due up as we got Landon Sechik, Kevin Ruggles, and Jamison Peters counting up the bat for the Buffs. And here is Landon Sechik, swinging and missing at the first pitch. Strike 1. Sechik 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Caught looking to end the first, swinging to end the third. And there's a high fastball laid off for ball 1. What do you do here if you're Landon Sechik? Having a tough day at the plate today, striking out twice. And now laying us off here in the 6th. Newport looking for some insurance. Pitch. Delayed call there, but Sechik down 1 ball and 2 strikes. They got a good one here in the Tri-Valley League. Newport or Juniata looking for their 2nd win of the season. And there's called strike 3 as Sechik goes down on strikes for the 3rd time in this game. And there's the first out. Definitely a game to forget if you're Landon Sechik 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. The hat trick solidified by the Juniata pitching. And here comes Kevin Ruggles. He was the only hitter for Newport to get a hit off of Dalen Kennedy. And here's strike 1. Kevin Ruggles was actually the first hitter that faced Dalen Kennedy to lead off the 2nd inning. And he had a hit, and so far, that's it. There's a swing and a miss from Ruggles. Makes it no balls and 2 strikes. Also makes you question here, Dayton Kennedy is on a roll here on the mound for Juniata. Why didn't the Indians coach have him start in this game? It could have been a different story. But here's the next pitch, and swing and foul back. No, still no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely interesting, but we got a good game here in the Tri-Valley League West Division. Juniata is 1-4 so far this season. Their only win was against Susquehanna. And now trying to beat another Prairie Kai team for their 2nd win of the season. But they need 1 run to keep the game going in the 7th. There's the 1 and 2, and a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kennedy, and there are 2 outs here in the 6th. That's now 7 strikeouts for Dalen Kennedy in this game. Here comes Jamison Peters. Peters 0 for 2 so far. The bottom of the lineup has struggled for Newport in this game. He's 0 for 2. First pitch and ruled a strike. Newport fans not happy about that low strike. It's 0-1. We have a couple of players stretching and tossing next to the Juniata dugout. Late swing and a miss from Peters makes it no balls and 2 strikes. Kennedy has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced. Now looking to strike out the side. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. It was so close to being an immaculate inning. Struck out the side on 10 pitches. But we are heading into the 7th inning. Last chance coming up for the Indians. Down by a run. Newport 3 outs away from getting a big bounce back win. The Newport Buffaloes trying to avoid deja vu from this past Friday against Greenwood, as they are 3 outs away, but only up by 1 run, and for Juniata, it's the top of the order. Dude up for the Indians, and here comes Dalen Kennedy. Top of the lineup, dude up for the Indians. And there was looked to be a little bit of storm up north here. Just saw a little bit of lightning just up ahead. But that's okay, I can stay up there. But here we go with Dalen Kennedy. And he takes a look at called strike 1. Logan Bates looking for a complete game. Logan Bates still pitching for Newport. But Juniata, their first goal is to get a base runner. First pitch is popped up. Underneath it is Bates. He makes the grab. And that's out number 1 here in the 7th. On Friday for Newport, they were up by 1 run. And then it was Greenwood getting 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Newport was able to get 1 run back in the 7th, but Newport looking to avoid a comeback here for the Juniata Indians. Here comes Drew Geedy. He's 0 for 3 so far. And here he takes a look at called strike. It's 0-1. Geedy grounded out on 1 pitch in the first to the pitcher. He struck out looking to start the 3rd. He flew out to right field his last time up. Here he rips one down the first base line, and trouble here. Over to first, not in time. An error puts the tying run at first base, an E3 on a weak ground ball. That's a big error right there. We saw this on Friday against Greenwood.
I was just thinking that.
And now Juniata has some life as Carson Nipple comes up. He's 0 for 2. He walked back in the first inning. And now the tying run over at first base. An E3, an error on the first baseman, Zach Bates. And first pitch to Nipple is outside for ball 1. This is how Greenwood got the rally started. There was 1 error in the 6th inning. Or in the 7th inning, excuse me. And 1-0 pitch is upstairs, ruled a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike here to the Juniata left fielder. Yeah, there's a storm just up north from here. I saw a couple flashes of lightning just up north. That's okay, I can stay up there. As late swing and miss from Nipple makes the count.
That's
1 ball and 2
footage.
strikes. It is a cool background. I mean, it would really be horrible if that was down here, especially in my case with the smashed back windshield, especially for this guy here who's got smashed in the first inning here in this one. And now here's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we got an open window or a cracked window and it starts to rain. Oh, it can be a nightmare.
But vehicles, one's the back windshield, one's front.
Yeah, what are the chances of that happening? 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing blooper over to second. This could be 2. The throw to first, not in time. Nice heads up play for the second baseman Chris Odmer to get the late runner out at second. It's a fielder's choice, and Juniata Indians are down to their final out. As comes down to Caleb Walker. And we're going to have a pitch runner here over at first. It's wearing number 14. That's Jason Kondo again over at first. And here comes Caleb Walker. Kondo was a courtesy runner earlier. He has a stolen base. And Caleb Walker's been a tough out. He grounded out to the second baseman Honor his last time up. Here he swings at the first pitch and pops it up. And the complete game is over as Logan Bates makes the grab for the 3rd out, and the Newport Buffaloes bounce back after a tough loss to Greenwood on Friday, and they get the win here by a score of 3-2. Caleb Walker has been a tough out. His first 2 play appearances were so and a single. But the Newport Buffaloes, for the 11th straight year, have beaten the Juniata Indians on their home field. And that has been the storyline for Newport against Juniata when it comes to home field advantage for the Newport Buffaloes. And that's now 10 straight victories against Juniata on their home field. As we're getting the final line scores. And just a really good defensive game. All 3 runs for Newport were in the first inning. As Bryce Harlan receives the loss, facing 7 batters in that first inning. He struck out 2 Buffaloes, but he gave up 3 hits and 3 earned runs. He gave up 1 wild pitch. Trying to get the tallies here of Logan Bates. 5 strikeouts all told for Logan Bates, who gets the win. Only 1 earned run for Logan Bates. So here we go. We have our final line score here for today's game. And for the Newport Buffaloes, 3 runs on just 4 hits. 2 errors. And a few runs left on base. And for Juniata, 2 runs on 6 hits, so he committing 1 error. And a very entertaining ball game here as the Newport Buffaloes bouncing off a tough loss this past Friday against Greenwood, as Newport improves to 6-2 overall, now 4-2 in the Tri-5 League West Division. They remain in first place in that division. And for Juniata, their tough start continues as they drop down to 1-5 overall and in the Tri-Valley League. Next time up for both teams will be back in action on Wednesday when Juniata hits the road once again, as they hit the road to take on St. Joseph's Catholic Academy at 4:30, while Newport will be back here at home on Wednesday as they take on Line Mountain in a Tri-5 League matchup as at 4:30. That's going to do it for us here at Newport High School. On behalf of the athletic director, Sean Les, my broadcast partner, Nick Miller, and all of us here at Newport High School, I am Alex Wall, the Golden Pipes of Perry County Baseball, saying so long from Newport. This has been a presentation of Newport Baseball versus the Juniata Indians, exclusively on the Pico Sports Talk YouTube channel. And we'll see you next time. Next time me and Nick are going to get together, we'll be on Friday, right here in Newport for the Perry County Softball Championship Tournament. For 2 semifinals starting at 4 o'clock, Newport will be taking on Susquehanna. They are the defending champions. And West Perry will be taking on the Greenwood Wildcats. Both games at the same time at 4 o'clock on Friday. We'll see you there. Good night, everybody, from Newport High School.